And hello, beautiful people. Let's do Tuesday, shall we? Welcome, it's Wake Up Nigeria, and it's like watching a fascinating movie. Every day on the show, we bring you non-stop 2 hours of fresh entertainment. My name is Mazino, and of course, similar thrill like watching a movie or reading a very, very good book. Hey, for 2 hours non-stop, you get to be stuck on that book. Like Mary will tell you, actually, she's an ardent reader. And welcome back, by the way, Mary. I missed you.
Mazino, I actually want to hug you right now.
I can come over.
I really, really want to. Can you come over?
I really, really want to come over.
No, we'll do that when I come to the couch. I really, really want to hug you. I missed you so much, and it feels so good to be back. Thank you so much. You know what I mean. Thank you.
Good to see you in red. And by the way, we have a very fine chef with us here today, Chef Titi. How you doing, girl?
Chef Debbie Scott, how you doing today? Great to have you here. We are cutting back on hugs again. Because COVID is not cutting back on us.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much for reminding me, Titi. You want to remember that you have to be very, very careful. It's a third wave is what they're saying, and they're telling you to take all caution necessary. Please make sure that you're going out with your sanitizers and your masks and all of that. Obey all the protocol that have been put on ground. By the way, you want to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC just in case you want to get across to us on social media, where we are at TVC Connect on Facebook and on Instagram. And of course, download the app if you want to take us with you anywhere you're going. Make sure you do that if you're using iOS or on Android. All right, so let's let you guys know exactly what we have coming up on the show here today. Now, for what we have lined up, the importance of sound health can't be downplayed. Now, in health, we have Dr. Tiwatayo Lasibika, who obtained his medical degree at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, and attended the University of South Wales, United Kingdom, where he bagged his master's degree in business psychology. It's a good one to have him, because he'll be joining us, and we'll be discussing controlling anxiety. Then we move on to parenting, where Olabisi Oni is the CEO of Luxury Bridal Errands and founder of Value Added Parenting, will be joining us to discuss developing family values. Olabisi Oni is a graduate of business administration from the University of Lagos, and she is professionally skilled in advanced parenting. And finally, joining us in the studio here for an interesting chat is versatile actor with a suave appearance, Okikiola, popularly known as Kiki Bakare. Along his career, Kiki has built an exceptional reputation while featured in Your Excellency, directed by Funke Akindele, and has been cast in numerous films and series.
All right.
Yes, indeed. You're welcome. And Mary, a hug.
Guess who's back?
I'm so
Back
glad to be
again.
back.
Mary's back.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
She's doing the whole show today.
Just her.
I'm taking a break. She's doing sports. She's doing heads. She's doing parenting. We have to use you, Mary.
Yes.
You need to be used today. So that
Mary out of you. How you been doing?
Oh my, I'm actually a lot better. Thank you so much.
update us for some of us who maybe don't know what's been up.
Yeah, I was actually under the weather, feeling under the weather, and by under, I was really under.
Yeah, we know.
But I'm
We
a
were
whole lot
there.
better now. Yeah,
Wonderful,
I'm a whole lot better.
wonderful.
Okay.
That's
It's
nice.
great to have you back.
Yes, indeed.
It's
That's
great
nice.
to be back.
A lot of activities. So many things happened while you were away.
Yeah.
But like,
So-
I think the
So
one
many
that
things
shocked me the
happened.
most was Stockwell leaving.
Okay.
Yeah. There was
I didn't even
that.
get to say goodbye. I didn't get to spend the last few days with her.
Oh.
But it's
Yeah.
all good.
but
It's
we'll
all
catch
good.
up.
Yeah,
You know where
definitely.
we always catch up.
Of course.
Yes, we always do. So we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
There was something Mike posted on one of our groups yesterday.
No, we'll talk about that later. That will take too much time. We don't have so much time. Yeah.
Which of them?
No, of
Is
course.
it the couple?
Yeah, a couple, Afghanistan.
See, it's not
Definitely.
funny.
Definitely, we'll talk about that one. That will take, But
I
then,
know you said we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Did you see how people were running like literally under a moving plane?
Yeah.
See, okay, we'll talk about
the
it.
desperation is shocking. But I remember what Mazino said yesterday when he said, try to do all your stuff on Monday so that, what did you
Come
say?
Tuesday.
Come Tuesday, what?
You'll not be labored with everything that you ought to have done. You love yourself better on a Tuesday.
But we love Tuesdays, man, because we know how to shift stuff.
So the thing with Manic Mondays is that we have been conditioned to think that Mondays are very, very difficult days to go through with. But the truth is that Mondays can be the easiest days that you can ever have for the week. If only you schedule, if only you plan, and if you stick to that list from weekend, not even from Monday morning. But most people don't. They just hate Mondays because this is when you get to to see that face in the office you hate to see, or the boss who's always down your neck. So there's that mental stress that you go through when you think about Mondays. And
you know, I agree with you.
Push things up.
Apart from the conditioning, the condition is a major one. But like you said, some activities are so placed in such a way that you yourself already have that Monday
for a very
thing.
long time, I hated Monday meetings.
I still hate them.
Because
it's okay to hate them.
If you're going to have a meeting, you should make it relaxed, maybe towards the end of the week.
Right.
And as they say, if there's no food there, maybe it should be online.
Tell you what, while we're waiting for our queries, we'll be back. Let's do the weather. And you're welcome for a Tuesday morning here. Let's do the news. My name is Mazino Appeal. Now we begin with the signing of the long-awaited Petroleum Industry Bill 2021 into law by President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja. Now, the president signed the document while working from home in a 5-day quarantine as required by the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 after returning from London last Friday. The ceremonial part of the new legislation is expected to take place on Wednesday, after the day of mandatory isolation would have been fulfilled. Now, the Petroleum Industry Act provides legal governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry. The development of host communities and related matters. The National Assembly had passed the bill last month, thus ending a long wait since early 2000. Now, and also notching another high for the Buhari administration. And meanwhile, in Plateau State, 13 more suspects have been arrested in connection with the killing of at least 23 persons along Rukuba Road in Jos, bringing the number of suspects to 33. The Force Public Relations Officer Frank Mba says detectives from the Force headquarters are profiling the suspects as investigations continue. He explains that the priority of the police authorities is to stabilize the situation, and the curfew imposed by State Governor Mr. Mba also said the Inspector General of Police IGP Usman Al-Khali Baba has ordered the deployment of additional operational assets, including a police surveillance helicopter, 2 units of police mobile force, and 2 cells of counter-terrorism units to Plateau State.
General Police ordered
Now,
the deployment of additional assets, including a police chopper that will be carrying out area surveillance and area patrols within Jos Metropolis. We believe that with our boots on ground and our A-wing up there in the air, we will be able to provide sufficient confidence for the people of Jos. We'll also be able to cover the entire field and the entire ground, both on ground and on air. We had earlier told you that scores of suspects have been arrested. These suspects have already been profiled. Special investigators have also moved from Abuja to join their counterparts from the Plateau State Police Command, and they are there providing support. So investigations are ongoing.
Now, in the meantime, Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom has sent his condolence to Plateau State counterpart, Simon Lalong, and the entire people of the state over the recent killing at Rukuba Road. Now, Governor Ortom, while addressing journalists in Makurdi on the security situation, decried the spate of killings in the country, while urging stakeholders to join hands with a view to addressing the worsening security situation. He also urged Nigerian leaders to rise to their responsibility of protecting lives and property of Nigerians, or regret their actions when the situation must have gotten out of hand. He pointed out that Nigeria is fast drifting into a failed state, adding that prompt action needs to be taken to avert the unfortunate trend.
I want to invite the federal government that has the responsibility of providing security for lives and property, and the state complementing, to rise up to this responsibility. And I agree with the President General GOTV when he cautioned the federal government not to shift blame or to shift responsibility to the state. We are a federation. The federal government is responsible for the security architecture of our country, and at all times they must live up to expectation.
Time for us to check out the headlines in the newspapers this morning, and we will begin with the Daily Trust newspaper. Our Daily Trust has this: NNPC, PEF, PPPRA to go as Buhari signs PIB into law. Ascent's major victory for Nigeria. That's coming from the National Assembly. Get right persons to implement Act, and that's a call from experts. We're sure no job losses. Nupen claims PDP Pandef kick as OPEC others hail action. Now, high taxes pushing SMEs mortality rates. That's coming from the Vice President. Down here we see COVID-19 AIDS workers at risk as Buhari flouts isolation guidelines. President truly isolating. That's coming from one of his aides. And up here we see how bandits abduct 15 students, 5 staff from Zamfara College. Finally, encomiums as IBB clocks 80 today. These and more stories you can catch in the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Now, from the Daily Trust newspaper, we move to the Daily Times. And the Daily Times has this: PIB knocks kudos trail Buhari's ascent. Down here, we see federal government to borrow 5.62 trillion naira to finance 2022 budget deficit. Up here, we see Nigeria not fair to me, says ex-governor. No pension for 14 long years. And here by the side, pension retirees deserve better treatment. These and more stories you can catch in the Daily Times newspaper this morning. Now, from the Daily Times newspaper, we move to the Punch newspaper, and the Punch newspaper has this: Buhari signing off PIB, petrol may sell for 300 naira, federal government to decide on subsidy, others today. And of course, 7 die, Taliban renames country Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Now, all of these stories and more you can catch in the Punch newspaper this morning. So many stories in the newspapers this morning that might interest you. But right now, we have to get some fitness.
And
All right.
you're welcome.
Yep,
Yeah.
you are. So
Welcome
it's quite a
back.
lot that happened. Let's get straight into it, of course. Distressing scenes all the way from Kabul, Afghanistan.
no, those
in the
scenes are
past
terrible.
3, 4, 5 days, the
Yeah.
U.S. has, they had a plan. This started from the Trump era where
Yeah.
they were going to withdraw from Afghanistan. But what they didn't expect or what they
Anticipate.
didn't think was the speed with which the Taliban would take over the country. So with what is happening there, Africa as a continent is a continent that has looked out to the West for a lot of aid, from financial aid. I mean, look at COVID, how we have to have free vaccines and all of that. How much can one expect someone else to do before you decide to take up responsibility and say, this is mine? Because President Biden earlier this morning, in his address said, look, if this was 5 years behind, 15 years in front, the country, the democratically elected government were not ready to take responsibility. I mean, if you notice, the moment they found out that the president had left the country, everything
Went to
just went
shambles.
to,
Yeah.
you know. So as a continent, as a people, as a country, when do you get to that point whereby you have to learn that, look, as a person, I have to
As a
take
person.
responsibility for myself.
I think you just mentioned, you just said the key word there is as a person. It starts with that one unit, and then it moves on to other macroeconomies and then the country. First off, it is surprising the speed with which everything has deteriorated. The visuals from people dropping from the sky is crazy. How
Scary.
desperate, how bad could it be that I'd risk my life to even climb atop of a plane to try and get out of Kabul? And then when we start to, like you have just analyzed now, how much could have been done for them? And what were they expecting to happen? I don't know. It's just...
You know, it's funny you talk
depressing.
about how much has been done for them, because trillions of dollars have actually been sunk.
Yeah.
Exactly what I wanted to mention, Mary, your point.
We like
20
we like
years.
skirting around things, but corruption played a major role in this. Because a lot of money has been pumped, manpower has been put in. We are talking about soldiers. Okay, like let's say for example, let's say the Taliban, let's say they're about 80,000. We have 300,000 Afghanistan soldiers fighting them. You can see the difference in the number. But it's a case of, I don't want to fight my brother. They are my blood. They are my... And that is part of the problems we're talking of even domestically now.
I'll
And the US
I'll add one small thing to it. You're throwing money at a problem that is fueled by, on the other side, fanaticism.
Yes.
Oh,
That
you hit it
is
right.
the
You hit it
worst
right.
kind
You hit it right.
of
You hit it right.
what you call it you can have.
Yeah.
And that, for me, is what the problem is. Fanaticism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in our local little units,
Yeah.
fanaticism
Yeah.
has destroyed so much. Has destroyed even little, small units, smallest units of families and all of that.
Yes.
Fanaticism.
Yes.
I'm,
And you know, I used to
I'm
think,
worried
okay, sure.
about I'm worried about how aid is going to get into that country now, because everyone knows that the West have played a major role with doing that, and once they pulled away completely, a lot of their allies and other friends will also pull away, and they will wait to see what's happening first. I know that United Nations, UNICEF, and all that, they're trying to find their way in there to help the children at least, because there are already scenes of kids, you know, in the streets looking for parents, looking for family members and all that. Just wondering how they're going to get out of this.
They'll find their way. You know, when I heard the figures, I thought I wasn't hearing well. And then, I mean, major trillions. You know what $1 trillion is?
Yeah.
Over the last
Like you've spent
10 years
hundreds
or
of
thereabouts,
billions
Yeah.
of dollars. And then there was something Biden said. He said, this war, this, of course, we know that this thing started from the 2001 attacks.
Yeah.
On this, and they said, look, this space is a breeding ground for terror. If we want to envisage this kind of attacks and stop them, let's go there, let's take over, let's ensure that they have their
Put a
things in
new
place.
government in
But he
place.
said, it's 20 years. Some people have grown
20 years.
up all seeing that war. And he said,
Yes.
would I send, I mean, some men in the military today, their fathers fought in that
fought
war.
in that
Yeah.
war.
Would I now send the kids? Will I send their grandkids? What will happen? When will this end?
How much
when
more
will
can
they
I
have
do?
to take
I
responsibility
just
for
want
themselves?
to point something out. That part of responsibility you mentioned. You know how when things are really going downhill and some people go, oh, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't affect me, it doesn't hit me directly. I thought about something while I was watching that video. The people who are trying to board the aircraft are the elites, in quotes.
They are.
Imagine what the average person who
It's
is probably
going- who
trying
has
to
no-
get out through
no-
the roads
Yes.
is
It's
thinking.
going-
Because
yeah.
those people coming to the airport
Wow.
believed they had enough money to pay their way through was
Yeah.
why they went there.
Yeah.
Not expecting that there wouldn't even be planes
I'll
to
tell
take
you
them.
something.
Military
yeah.
planes, all sorts of...
I don't know how to end this because I can't give a solution. None
Yeah.
of us here can. It's a problem out there, but we do have our own problems.
Yes, we do.
And we hope that it doesn't get that far. We hope we don't get that desperate. But I think it starts with us
Each and
as
every one of
Yes,
us.
it's about time we
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Let's do a break. We'll be back. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
Time for us to have a health talk. And to do so, we have Dr. Tiwatayo Olaoshibikong, who obtained his medical degree at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, and attended the University of South Wales, United Kingdom, where he bagged his master's degree in business psychology. Now, he's joined us today to discuss controlling anxiety. Welcome aboard. Great to have you on the show today.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I'd like to first define whatever it is I'm talking about.
Okay.
So let's talk about what anxiety really is. What is anxiety?
All right. So, I mean, the first thing I need to say is that every one of us are supposed to have, you know, a level of anxiety. You're supposed to have this, you know, anxious feeling when you're doing something for the very first time, even sometimes when you are doing it over and over. So, but it's supposed to just last, you know, be transient. You are supposed to be able to, you know, get a hold of it. But many times, anxiety gets a hold of people rather than them getting a hold of it. So, and it gets to a point where there is this undue fearfulness, you know, sometimes of specific things, you know, so it could be fear of heights, of, you know, cockroaches, animals, you know, or it could be fear of, you know, things that are not even specific. Just this persistent foreboding, like something bad is going to happen.
Or when you
know.
have a meeting, you're like, is this going to go well? And that's why many people mix it up with being nervous.
Yes. So for example, would this meeting go well? There's some form of adrenaline that comes with being anxious,
Yeah.
which also helps in performing tasks well.
Okay.
You know, so like I said, the important thing is you being on top of it rather than it being on top of you.
Okay.
So it gets to a point whereby, you know, somewhere you're supposed to be the new, maybe MD, for example, but you feel I can't stand in front of people.
Address
And then I can't address them, I can't talk, I will just, you know, the ground will just swallow me, and you don't take up the offer. Now, so it's different for you taking it up afraid, and you know, day one goes, okay, I didn't do too badly today. you know, dates. Okay, I think I'm doing fine. But I mean, I've had patients who did not take up employment, you know, because of anxiety.
Wow.
So we call that social anxiety.
Oh.
There are different types of anxiety, you know. And we have some people who even decide to take particular, you know, roles rather than, you know, so maybe you actually wish that you were, you know, a newscaster, but you can't stand in front of people, so you decide to be a programmer. Not that being a programmer is bad, but you actually, you know, trying to avoid situations where you'll be anxious. So you stay behind the computer. Nobody's going to talk to you. You're not talking to anybody.
But is that a form of controlling it, or you are simply running away from it?
So you're just avoiding it. You're just avoiding it. You know, and then, but there are sometimes that people don't even know that what they have is anxiety. That's when you have a lot of the physical symptoms. So the psychological symptoms are easy to recognize. So you have things like, you know, being on the edge easily, you know, when being anxious, nervous, poor concentration. There's something drops on the floor. I know.
You jump.
You're scared. So those are psychological symptoms, which are relatively. But me, I've seen people who, due to anxiety, have not seen their menses in 4 months. You know.
Anxiety to be pregnant?
No.
Just anxiety.
Just anxiety, generalized anxiety. You know, who have different physical headaches. There's this tight band around my head.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of crawly sensations all over my body. I know, and it's, you know, I can't sleep, and it's all back to anxiety.
Wow, it does seem like something really broad that will probably take us days to cover. So you know what? Let's talk about controlling it. How can you control anxiety?
All right. So now, depending on the severity. Now, when anxiety is mild, you know, the ones that, you know, happens to each and every one of us, you know, how you control it, you know, first, you can actually start by talking to yourself.
Talking to yourself?
Yes.
In the mirror, or just sitting?
So you can talk to yourself in the mirror. You know, you can talk to yourself while driving and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this done. You know, this thing is not going to...
Yorubas will say that's the beginning of madness.
So, you know, I was here last week talking about psychosis. And then talking to yourself can be a symptom of psychosis when you actually don't know that you're talking to yourself.
Okay.
You know, or when you are talking to yourself.
Okay, so when you consciously talk to yourself.
Yes, so you know what is going on.
You are still sane.
Yes,
but when you are unconsciously talking to yourself.
Yeah, so talking to yourself, where you are preaching to yourself. So, for example, I say, okay, so I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get this done. There's something we call, you know, cognitive restructuring. All right, so it's just part of, you know, trying to, this is what I'm thinking. I know it's not the best for me, so let me restructure it. So I'm thinking that, so I'm scared, I'm not good enough. And say, okay, that thought, does it make sense? What makes you think I'm not good enough? Other people at work, I mean, we are pals if I'm not even better than them. So what do I think? So that is cognitive restructuring. You know, so where you take the negative thoughts that come to you, and you actually restructure it, and then, you know, you begin to say the things that actually are right, you know, the positive things. You know, so that's part of what I mean by talking to yourself.
So talking to yourself, then cognitive restructuring. Okay.
Yes. So, of course, it might get to a point whereby, you know, that may not work, and you need to actually see us.
Okay.
You know, so the
you
point
seek
whereby...
professional help.
Yes. The point whereby you have, where there are, you know, a lot of physical symptoms, like the ones I mentioned. You know, the person person can't sleep, you know, there's difficulty in breathing. And also, it depends on what type of anxiety we're talking about.
Anxiety can cause difficulty in breathing.
Oh, yes, of course. In episodes, I mean, especially panic attacks. You know, the person looks like the person has an asthma attack. Meanwhile, it's anxiety. You know, so those kind of forms of anxiety, you may actually need to seek professional help. There are also little things that we teach people, for example, breathing techniques, relaxation techniques. So when the anxiety comes, you know, if you could just, you know, I don't know how to just, you know, simply explain breathing techniques in a few minutes. But it's something that we can actually check up on YouTube, you know, breathing techniques. Okay. There's a way to breathe in, you know, so that, I mean, you do it in cycles, so that at the end of it, you know, you feel relaxed. Okay. And then you'll be able to walk in. A lot of people, even professionals, you know, what do we call them now? Public speakers, you know, do this before going on stage.
Yes, you have, and then some do all these mouth exercises. But you know what? As much as I would like us to continue, wow, I've learned a lot today. I wish there was so much more time to talk more about it. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Lau Shemikon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll head over to the kitchen now where something is cooking.
Yes, it is. Definitely cooking here with Chef Debbie Scott.
Thank you.
Already started work
Some of the juice is flowing. But welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Now, it might interest you to know, now you were just telling me earlier now, that this week makes it 1 year that Chef Debbie has been coming on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes.
Imagine that. Time flies. 1 whole year of cooking on the show. Hope you've been having a great time.
Yes, of course I do.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. All right, let's talk about what we are making today.
We are making jollof pasta.
Jollof pasta.
That's all.
Okay.
It's a special recipe that I have.
So Chef Debbie always has something really different about her meals. There's always an added touch. Let's talk a bit about the ingredients that we have here. I can see that you're chopping chili peppers.
Yeah.
Yellow kind.
The yellow, yes, of course.
All right. We also have red peppers, onions, green peppers.
Garlic.
We have garlic. We have, of course, the pasta.
Yeah.
And we have a selection of spices here. These spices include what?
These are white pepper.
Okay.
These curry and thyme. These herbs.
Herbs.
Yes, I made this myself.
Okay. And
So
what's
these seasoning cubes,
Seasoning
then
cubes.
nutmeg.
and nutmeg. So the nutmeg, are you grating it?
Yes,
or-
I am. I'm grating it.
Fantastic. All right, so seasoning cube, white pepper, of course, curry and thyme, and mixed herbs that you will not tell us what they are?
Oh,
No?
okay.
Or is
There
it
are
your
lots,
secret?
a lot here.
Okay,
A lot.
so many.
Yes.
And in the bottle we have?
We have a vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil. Okay, fantastic. So the
And
first
here
thing...
we have our goat's meat here.
All right, so let's leave that
Boiling
open for a
already.
second. You know, everybody loves to see the meat as it's cooking. Let's go. All right, so goat meat is your protein for this particular dish.
Yeah.
Any specific reason why you picked goat meat?
No, no specifically. I just want to use this one
Okay.
instead of the normal chicken.
Okay.
you know.
All right, chicken pasta does seem to be something people are used to. I've not had goat meat pasta yet.
You will have it today.
Exactly. So you started chopping the pepper.
Yeah.
Why not just blend it with the mix?
No, I like seeing the the different colors of
Okay.
chopped pepper
Okay.
instead of blending. You know, when you blend now, you don't see anything like that. So I like seeing the freshness and all that inside.
Okay. Okay. Now, the pepper mix itself, what is inside it? What did you
Okay,
add?
I use tomatoes ball, and Scotch bonnet. That's
Okay. Fantastic. Tomatoes and Scotch bonnet. So there's no tattaché.
all. No, I didn't use tatashe.
All right. Fantastic. So how long are we looking at for this meat?
I'll just wait for about 5 minutes now. Then before goat meat doesn't take so much time
Okay. All right.
to get done.
Have you added any spices to the goat meat?
Yes, I did. I added seasoning cubes, and I did add the herbs and a little of the white pepper,
Fantastic.
then onion.
Fantastic. Now, I wish there was something I could help with. I did note that you have pureed tomato,
Yeah.
or let's say
Tomatoes paste.
tomato paste is what they
That's what
tomato
I'm
puree, tomato paste here, but it's quite a lot you have here. It looks like a whole can, one of those small cans.
When you're making jollof, just like the way you're making jollof rice, so you need a lot of the paste, especially.
Okay.
Then before you can have a very nice taste of jollof rice.
Okay.
So that's why I'm using all this.
All right. Fantastic. You have a colorful meal being prepared here. Hopefully you can try it at home. And of course, show us on social media. Make sure you use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC so we can see exactly what's happening right there with you. We're going to be taking a quick break. We'll be back with more. Yeah, Wake Up Nigeria is not complete without music. Thank you so much for that one. And we're still in the kitchen with Chef Debbie. Everything is going smoothly here. If you're just tuning in, we're making jollof
Pasta.
pasta. Jollof pasta a la Chef Debbie. And she's using goat meat to make this. But what are you up to right now?
Here, I'm trying to make the sauce that I'm going to use for the pasta.
Okay. So if you missed it, we had a selection of spices on this plate here. You just added the curry, the thyme.
Yes, I just did
You
that.
also added onions. I think
Yeah.
I can see garlic in there too.
Yes, I did.
And some of the red pepper. And now you're frying the tomato paste.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to us about
So
this
after
process.
the tomato paste, I'll add this
Okay.
these blended tomatoes inside. Then I'll cover for a while for it to, get done. Then before I add the spices, then before this pasta on its own. That's the last thing I'm going to do.
All right. Fantastic.
I'm going to still sauce the that's the goat's meat.
Okay.
I'm going to sauce it inside before I put this pasta.
So when they say when you say you sauce it, you're gonna add the meat to the sauce or the sauce to the meat, or what?
I'm going to add the sauce to the meat.
The sauce to the meat. Yes. Fantastic. So we want all those really great goat meat juices to get into that sauce
Yes, of course.
before it becomes part of the jollof.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right. So I don't actually do it this way. I'm talking about when I try to get my pasta sauce down.
Okay.
What I do is I mix it with water first to make it a little looser. I don't know. This method looks...
Instead of adding the water, the water will take a long time before it gets dried. So this is the shortest
So you want
part.
it to be dry?
Yes, I want it to be dried.
Okay, fantastic. I don't know. I'm just wondering about all that sauce, all that paste, because it feels like I could have used that tomato paste for like 2 different meals. I'm just thinking about the quantity here. But I guess it's going to have a major impact on the flavor.
Yeah.
And I can already see the color is different.
I think it's the jollof, that's the pasta. It won't be looking so white. I want it to look exactly like the jollof. That's the patty jollof rice.
Okay. All right, I hear you. Can we take a look at the goat meat? Let's see how that's doing.
It's ready. It's ready.
So did you want that to dry as well?
No,
or?
it's off now.
Okay.
I'll put it off.
I didn't see that much water in there.
No, I don't want the water. I don't really use stock for my pasta.
Okay.
So I just, do it directly. To still have the taste.
So you just added the pepper mix now. If you're just tuning in, that pepper mix was tomatoes and rodo, right?
Yes.
Scotch bonnet peppers.
Scotch bonnet, yes.
There wasn't any tatashe in there.
No.
So I can see that this might not take too long, actually. It looks like it's already getting there.
No, it won't take too long. Because the tomato, I didn't add water while blending it. So it will just dry, not too long.
Fantastic. So this will all come together. So what happens to this pasta now?
Okay, I'm going to wait for this to get ready.
Okay.
Then I'll add a little water, then add the pasta, then cover on low heat.
As simple as that.
Ready.
If you're just tuning in, it's jollof pasta we're making today with goat meat sauce there. And the ingredients we used, if you missed it, we have, of course, pasta. We had green peppers, red peppers. We also had yellow peppers there.
Yeah.
Onions, garlic, a mixture of spices. We also had some seasoning cubes, white pepper, and nutmeg. We never really talked about this nutmeg. Nutmeg, I know, is for baking mostly.
No, I like you've not tested nutmeg in pasta before. Okay, you try it today, and you see you see how it turns out. As in, it tastes so yummy.
Okay,
very very yummy.
Great.
So, but I'm not going to add it now. I'm going to add it when I put the pasta inside the sauce. Yes.
So nutmeg is still whole. What do you use to get it down to a powder?
What do I use? I use this grater to...
Just an ordinary grater?
Yes,
and that's it?
All right. Yeah, it's preferable to use the fresh, as in this seed nutmeg. It gives you the best aroma instead of the sachet one.
I will try it very, very soon. And hopefully you're trying it as well at home. Just make sure you use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and show us what you're up to in your kitchen. Thank you, Chef Debbie.
Thank you.
Let's take another quick break, but there's still so much more on Wake Up Nigeria.
And you are welcome. It's the second hour here for Wake Up Nigeria, and hope your day is already up to a good start. Talking about a good start, it's been all sorts of fun here in the studio, hasn't it, Titi?
Yes, it has. How you work. Tell me, how would you feel if you won $1 million right now?
Let me see. First of all, if you guys had caught me before the cameras came on, I was dancing That means I was dancing $1 million into my life. And
Okay.
how I'd feel absolutely normal, actually. I don't think money would change me in any way. Sorry, something got in my throat.
Wow, exactly. That frog in your throat. Now, let me ask you this question. Now, I call my, you know, I tell you I'm a billionaire, you know. I always write it. I write it everywhere. I talk about it all the time. I'm a billionaire in the making. And you have to think about what you consider $1 million morning. So look at it this way. Waking up each day is a gift and is worth more than $1 million. Don't you agree?
Yeah, Titi, I'd rather have the $1 million.
Are you sure about that? So, okay, wait. So if someone told you they would give you $1 million right now and you don't wake up tomorrow morning,
Titi,
which one would you take?
I'll answer that after, not to worry.
After the $1 million, of it?
Tell you what, let's already tell them what we have coming up for the show today. If you've seen the first hour, we had plenty coming your way. And now we've got 45 minutes, and, well, let's let you know what we're going to be giving you as the day progresses.
Then we move on to parenting, where we have the founder of Value Added Parenting, developing family values. Olabisi is graduate of Business Administration from Unilag, and she is professionally skilled in advanced parenting. It's going to be a really interesting topic today.
Finally joining us in the studio for an interesting chat is versatile actor with a suave appearance, Kiki Ola, popularly known as Kiki Bakri. Along with his career, Kiki has built an exceptional reputation while featuring in Your Excellency, if you remember that one. That was directed by Funke Akinile, and he's been casted in numerous films and also series as well.
Very funny, very funny.
What was that?
But back to that question.
Which one?
Give you $1 million today, and you don't wake up tomorrow morning.
Why are you putting me on the spot?
Which one?
Well,
is
okay,
more
so
valuable?
I like to think that a person's the value you put on a person's life is the content of your life. It's not necessarily how long. You can live a long life and it's dreadful, or you can have a short life and it's fantastic.
Okay.
So I'm one of those people who believe that do all you want to do while you're living, because you know, being a bit too safe just might be too boring.
You know, it's funny you would mention that, because Mike and I were talking about this BBN guy.
Yeah.
You know how that is a platform.
You're talking about KV?
Yes,
Okay.
where it's a platform, and then you're there to showcase yourself, and then something really bad happens to you in the course of it, and all. We're just talking about it.
It's a sad story for him,
it is.
because the past.
It's sad?
It's sad because I mean, you waited so long to get something, and then all of a sudden.
Happy ending. Let him
know.
go take care of himself.
He might actually be taking care of it
Happy
better
ending.
now than if he might have noticed it down the line, and he wouldn't have been on TV, and they wouldn't have been able to give him the care he needed at that point.
By the way,
in
we're
time.
talking about KV from BBN, who
So
has
big name.
So I-
left the show because of what people observe. People observe to be mental issues. We're
So
not too
actually,
sure.
if you think of that, you know, there's that cool boy, cool guy, cool girl kind of thing. When in a group, there's some people that feel left out, and there's always felt on the fringes of the group.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it was in school, where you have one or two kids who, or a number of kids who are the cool kids, and they have a lot around them. But then there's some people who feel they're on the fringes, feel left out, and that was more the thing. And then he got to him and all that. It's good that he.
Especially on
left.
such a stage.
Yeah, especially on such a grand stage, you know.
I
And like I
think
always
a
mention,
GoFundMe was even started for him.
Yes.
As at
no,
last
no,
night, they had
these
25,000
scam, the people that who started it.
Hey.
Do you know who started it?
After you
Yeah.
collect the money, you
How do you
out,
know?
KV.
How do you know who started it? I can put something and put his name there. Did he say he was the
Well,
one?
we wouldn't know.
people do
That's what I'm saying.
that's what
So
we'd find
you can't
out.
say it's for him. We just saw a page there,
Yes.
and it's not the first time. People have used public figures. Kind of
Look
like
what happened to Sound Sultan.
someone hacked Sound Sultan's account and is asking for money.
Yes,
That's
his Instagram
ridiculous.
account has been
So
hacked.
what are we saying?
Tell you what,
So don't
we'll
come
never
just put money
know.
somewhere and
Until
think
we
it's
have the facts on that one. But tell you something, we do have the facts on. Check it out right now. You're welcome to the second hour here. Let's begin the news. My name is Mazino Peel. Now we begin with the signing in of the longer-awaited Petroleum Industry Bill 2021 into law by President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja. Now, the president signed the document while working from home in a 5-day quarantine as required by the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 after returning from London last Friday. The ceremonial part of the new legislation expected to take place on Wednesday after the days of mandatory isolation would have been fulfilled. The Petroleum Industry Act provides legal governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Niger petroleum industry. The development of host communities and related matters, the National Assembly had passed the bill last month, thus ending a long wait since early 2000 and notching another high for the Buhari administration. In Plateau State, 13 more suspects have been arrested in connection with the killing at least of 23 persons along the Rukuba Road in Jos, bringing the number of suspects to 33. The Force Public Relations Officer Frank Mba says detectives from the Force headquarters are profiling the suspects. Investigations continue. He explains that the priority of the police authorities is to stabilize the situation amid the curfew imposed by the state governor, Mr. Mba. By the state governor. Now, Mr. Mba also said the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Al-Khali Baba, has ordered the deployment of additional operational assets, including a police surveillance helicopter, 2 units of police mobile forces, and 2 cells of counterterrorism units to Plateau State.
Today, the Inspector General of Police ordered the deployment of additional assets, including a police chopper that will be carrying out area surveillance and area patrols within Jos Metropolis. We believe that with our boots on ground and our A-wing up there in the air, we will be able to provide sufficient confidence for the people of Jos. We'll also be able to cover the entire field and the entire ground, both on ground and on air. We had earlier told you that scores of suspects have been arrested. These suspects have already been profiled. Special investigators have also moved from Abuja to join their counterparts from the Plateau State Police Command, and they are there providing support. So investigations are ongoing.
Now, in the meantime, Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom has sent his condolences to his Plateau State counterpart, Simon Lalong, and the entire people of the state over the recent killings at Rukuba Road. Now, Governor Ortom, while addressing journalists in Makurdi on the security situation, decried the spate of killings in the country, while urging stakeholders to join hands with a view to addressing the worsening security situation. He also urged Nigerian leaders to rise to their responsibilities of protecting lives and property of Nigerians or regret their actions when the situation must have gotten out of hand. He pointed out that Nigeria is fast drifting into a failed state, adding that prompt action needs to be taken to avert the unfortunate trend. Wow, day of music there, almost taking over the entire set. Thank goodness. That was a good one. We enjoyed that one. Now, welcome. Let's talk parenting. Now we have Olabisioni. Now, she's the CEO of Luxury Bridal Errands and founder of Value Added Parenting. On Parenting Today, she's joined us to talk about developing family values. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to see you here, Bisi. Now, valued parenting. Let's talk about that. How much value can we add on as parents in our mode of parenting?
Actually, a lot of values, because you are like, God puts you in child, you are like a caretaker, that God gives you this, children's brain is like empty sponge, that's when you soak in the water, it soaks a lot. So they comes with this empty brain, and it's whatever you feel, that's what the outcome people are going to see in the future. So that's why parents have to be intentional, deliberate. The way you live your life when you were single or without the children, when they start coming, you have to, you have to sacrifice some things, a lot of things. Like there are some things you do before. When they are coming, you know the kind of children you want to raise. That's where the values, family values comes in. Okay, so the values is something that guides you, your partner, and your children. So the kind of people you want to be and the kind of life you want to live. And before you can talk about values, you have to ask yourself some questions. What is important to you? What is important to your partner? Because I believe they were raised in a different background. Totally different. They have different motives, different perspective, and you are coming together. you are coming together to raise children. It means you have to agree on some things so you don't confuse the child, you know. That's why the Bible says that can two work together except they agree? So they have to settle that. What's important to you as my wife, or if they are parents already, what's important to you? Then they find a common ground. Okay, let's choose this. Let's work with this.
So these values we're talking about here, what exactly are the tenets? Are we talking about wealth? Are we talking about health? Are we talking about passion? Because that is also what this agreement has to be about. Are we going to raise our kids based on succeeding or trying to succeed? What kind of values, particularly, are we referring to here?
So it's still buttressed to the parents, because what is my values of my family values might be different, because we are different and we reason in a different way. Secular people, what might be their value might be different from white. But some of the values that every parent must imbibe is like being kind. And when you have that in your family, it's not enough telling children that you have to be kind. You have to do it as parents. In fact, you don't tell children what to do. You do it, and they
Can we borrow from you? Let's borrow from you. What values have you raised your kids on?
Okay, like peaceful. We are peaceful in my family.
Nice.
I love peace. My husband loves peace. You cannot find us where there is argument or something. We've never been argued. Next month, my marriage will be 6 years. We've never fought over anything. If we notice that this discussion is going to lead to an argument, it's either I stopped or my husband stopped. Then we come to hit. Yeah. And so my first son actually knows that okay, because he has watched us, he has seen us. But the second son that came, like I talked about learning styles, is a kinesthetic. And he fights a lot. So we are still working on how to help this child. That this kind of family you have, we love peace. We don't fight.
It goes back to what you said about the sponge. Children are sponges, and they're soaking up everything that you see. So you have to be intentional as a parent. Whatever it is that you're putting out there is what they're feeding on, and that's exactly how they're going to grow, what they're going to grow into. And this affects a whole lot of things for the kids, especially the older they get. The kind of people they are, the relationship kind of with people. Yeah. Tell us more about this.
Yes, the kind of gathering you expose them to. And that's why parents, you have to be careful. See, parenting is not for one person. It's for both parties. So which means whatever the wife, the mother is agreeing on, the husband must do the same. Or else you confuse the child. Like we do, we discuss things, okay, this is how we want to do it. And that's what we put to them. Number one, the kind of gathering we go, we think about our children. The kind of school we put them, we think about it. Is it going to affect them positively or negatively? Like sometimes I get home and my son says some words that I be like, you didn't hear this from me or your dad. So it's either school or somewhere. I have a niece that stayed with me. So she came to my house when she was 13. Definitely, she must have had some things and motives that is because I didn't raise her. Yeah. So it's either you hear it from her. So I ask question, where do you hear this kind of word? And he tells me, okay, it's either from school or that. And I tell him, this is our values. We speak kind words in this family. You don't just put anything.
So from what you're saying, there's so much a parent can do, but there are other external factors, forces that are also contributing to what a child learns or what he brings home. So how do you ward off all of this? You've already started saying, but how much more effort can you put into warding off these external
you
factors?
Pay attention to...
Paying attention.
Yes, pay attention, and you are deliberate about things. You know, when they talk now, you can't just ignore.
Yeah. But paying attention is so difficult these days. When mommy comes back at 9, daddy is back at 10, or even when they are back, they're too tired to even pay attention to the kids.
Like
they're being raised by the nanny. You know,
like I do say, these family values, you know, you are a career parent, you have things you're doing, script it. So when you employ a nanny,
this is how
explain, this is how these children or this child is a royalty, is a king. So you have to treat him as such. You have to respect him. Because if you're talking to a president, there is a way you relate. There is a way you... So you explain your values. And you have notice board in your child's room, in your room, paste it, let everybody see it in your house. It is your house, for God's sake. Even if the children can read, when grandma comes, explain how it's your home. Yeah. It's just like a company. You know who you want to be. You know how you want people to view your family out there. It's just like TVC. Whether the CEO or the founder is there or not, everything is running because there is a system.
Yeah.
That's the way family should be run. There should be a system. Whether you're a career parent or not, that is not an excuse. Script things. Work with your partner. Except if you are a single mother, and if you are a single parent, you can still work things out that whether you are there or not, it is running. You explain to your maid, whoever is coming to stay with you or to spend something.
Yeah, I think you just hit it on the head there. Paying attention, make sure it's deliberate. Often you have to even script these down for everybody. And, you know, that attention bit is the one that I'm taking home with me, paying attention to the kids. Thank you very much, Missy, for coming once again. Always love it when you're here. And thank you very much for joining us out there. I hope you've taken something home with you and maybe even use it today. Do stay tuned. We have more coming your way. I'm wondering what's happening in the kitchen. We're going to get to find out exactly what they're doing in there. But let's take a short break first.
Welcome back. Yeah, Ionimi. I love that title. I love that title. Now it's about time for us to meet our final guest for the day. Finally, we have with us on the couch a versatile actor with a suave appearance, Okikiola, popularly known as Kiki Bakri.
Yes, Kiki Bakri. And, you know, along his career, Kiki has built an exceptional reputation while featuring in Your Excellency, directed by Funke Akindele, as well as numerous other films and series. And it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So he has that, like, almost perfect actor frame. He has the height, he has this, you know, skin tone, everything. Just a package. Was there someone that... What now? I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere.
I don't know how that came out of my mouth. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, it feels like someone discovered you. Someone saw you walking down the street and said, you a guy. You can act. Is that how it happened?
Yeah, I think that was how it happened, actually.
Really?
I just think the movie thing just called me, you know.
Really?
I was just opportune to be there at the particular time. So.
When you say be there, where?
Okay, so I used to have actors come to our house they use our house for movies and all of that. So I was always watching and well, you can do this thing. I'm like, me, I can't do it. I won't. And then I got encouragement from people and I was like, okay, let me just try.
Okay.
Then, okay, yeah, come and do this thing. And then I did it and I liked it.
When did you do it and like it?
Okay, so it started 2019.
You've made this giant strides in 2 years.
Yes. Started 2019, yeah.
Well, I guess because you already had a relationship with many of them, because they use your house and also that probably has helped a great deal. Before then, though, what were you doing?
Okay, so I was actually working in a real estate.
Really?
Yes, yeah. I was doing masters at the same time working.
Okay.
So then after masters, then I just didn't want to just go back to a 9 to 5.
Okay.
I wasn't enjoying it. Then the movie thing came. I was like, okay, let me give this a try. Okay, let me just try for a year and see if it can work out. So I tried, and then after a year, it went even bigger than I thought. So I just did, okay, this is my calling.
Wow. And then, of course, COVID happened where there was a lockdown.
Yeah.
But it seems like you were still working during that time.
At the COVID time, you know, so the career was going like this. Then COVID came, and then it was just here.
Wow.
So at the point I was like, okay, maybe I should have.
I know that
so
feeling.
then after COVID, so it got better after COVID actually. So after COVID, then I just started getting calls from here and there. Okay, come on, this, come on. So I was really busy throughout 2020. I didn't have a day to myself 2020. I was working back to back.
Amazing.
Then even 2021 to like. Just kept working.
You know, they say hard work doesn't result in good account balance. So would you say, would you say that the back to back, which sounds like a rap, has been very fruitful, or it's been a case of, okay, you've been taking it as a learning process, not really particular about the money because it's not so good yet. Which one?
Okay, maybe the learning process was 2019.
Wow.
But right now, it's been paying off. It's been paying off. It's been paying off.
So it seems you also have your own production company, or is it film?
Yeah, Kiki Fame Media, that's what it's called.
So what's all that about? What have you been?
So it's just about movie production. So when I want to produce my movie, I produce under Kiki Fame Media. So it's just
amazing.
Someone that started in 2019. When did you set up this production company?
I started 2020, actually.
Hey, now, okay, so the first film you produced, Kiki Ola, is it your story?
Yes. Do you mean a true life story?
Yeah. Is it your own true life story?
Not a true life story.
Okay.
It's not a true life story. Yeah.
It was more fictional.
Yeah.
So it's a yearly thing now. You started in 2019, opened your production company in 2020, released Kikiola in 2020,
late 2019.
Late 2019.
I shot it in 2019, but it came out in 2020.
Yeah. Now you are releasing Iyomi in 2021.
Yes.
Next year now it will be Bami.
So let's talk about Iyomi. Iyonimi, rather. Iyonimi. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so Iyonimi is a family story. It has to do with a mother that gave birth to twins.
Oh, okay.
So, so I don't want to just say everything. Okay, let me just give you the brief.
You already had us, like, okay, what story about it? And I was already thinking of Titi and her twins. Maybe they can still feature in the part 2. And then you're telling you are not going to talk about it anymore.
Okay, so they are in their final year.
Okay.
So there's this final year party thing that they were about to do, and they were told not to go, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, but they shall find their way there then.
Everything went...
Something happens.
Not at the party, it was after the party.
The after party. So that's the suspense there, and I have a feeling people want to know what exactly happened. But, you know, I think it's great how your journey has been pushing. Working with someone like Funke Akindele must have been an experience. You need to tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so I worked with her on Your Excellency, and I also featured in My Siblings and I.
Okay.
So I played Osage in My Siblings and I. And she's a wonderful person, and it's fun working with her.
Okay, so I like to know projections, because sometimes you might say to yourself, okay, everything is going on well, nothing is going to go bad. It's not that you've done acting, you're doing production. In fact, you've started killing all the... So 5 years from now, what do you expect to have achieved?
A lot of the movie in the movie scene. I want to be an household name.
Okay, cool.
Directing, I don't know if I have the patience to direct, because I know directors. I would just like to stay as an actor, then producing, then telling stories.
So I have to ask, especially since you made a comment on directors, which type of film do you prefer? Is it Yoruba or English?
The two, actually. I can't pick one. Because when I get caught up on English set, I do it, and Yoruba set, I do it as well. I just recently did Picture Perfect series.
Okay.
It was lovely. Working with Biodun Stevens was amazing. Like, I really learned a lot on the set. So I can't say this one. Then even in the Yoruba scene, working with Kiki Afolayan, Shemolaya, these are wonderful directors that are actually doing very well. So I really can.
It's funny that you would mention this, because it suddenly struck me that the 2 movies you've released are Yoruba, right? Kikiola and Iyonimi.
Yes.
And generally, we are told that the Yoruba industry is very friendly, in quotes. So unlike the English industry, where everything is, you better pay me my money. Yoruba, you can say, auntie me, I need you here, I have this amount. Or this, you can just mobilize people. Is that how you've been able to do it? Or you've tried your best to keep it as professional as possible, paying them as much as they deserve?
Well, there's what we call relationship, friendship thing. So that works as well. You know, when there's some people that I have personal relationship with. So, you know, because I know you and you, okay, I can reach out to you and then say, okay, if your fee, so to say, is ₦1 million, and I know you're my friend, and I know that I can pay you 600, and you will collect it, I'll just come out, says, this is what I have, and I need you, okay, you know, just it happens because I know you need me to, and then I won't give you. I won't give you the full charge.
Your own fee right now is 500. They'll say, "Joe, I brought me back 50,000."
There's some people that go to their set without negotiating.
But there are some people that have already set, you know, their standards. Like people like Odunlade, right?
People like Odunlade.
How was it working with him?
It was wonderful. Like he's so professional at what he does. He was the first person to get to my stand. I'm like, even though I wasn't even ready, and I'm like, Odulade is here.
That was why I asked you how tall you were at the start of the conversation, because Odulade is tall.
Yeah,
Then we just watched you towering over him again. I'm like...
he's a wonderful person, wonderful person,
Glad.
trust me. Yeah.
All right, now we've actually been preparing something really special in the kitchen just for you. But we want to see a quick clip of what you've been working on.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll be back. Nice one, nice one. And congratulations on that project.
Thank
All
you.
right, welcome to the kitchen. And our chef has been working so hard.
Why are you looking at your food like that?
Yeah, he's looking at his food. Honestly, it's been amazing with Chef Debbie. And she's made jollof pasta with goat meat.
Asun.
So it's
Is it
different.
asun?
It's not with chicken, it's with goat meat.
Yeah.
So at this point, we would like you to have a taste
Yes,
Okay.
and
indeed.
give us your opinion. What do you think?
Looks nice already.
Right.
So let me do justice.
Okay.
Okay.
You like your pasta long or short?
I mean, different.
Anyone?
So I'm a big fan of pasta that you can keep turning and turning
Italian.
forever and ever and ever and ever. And you're wondering.
What's it like? What? You can't talk? Okay. You keep going. So, we were saying...
Yeah, when the pasta just keeps going on and on for days. Yeah, that kind of pasta. I'm actually interested
If
in
you keep talking, you'll finish his
Yeah,
food.
no
Let's ask him what he thinks. So that,
What do you think?
Wow, this is really lovely. Like,
All right.
over 10, I'm going to give it a 10.
Oh.
Is that good? Yeah, it's really nice.
Chef
a good
Debbie in the building. If you missed
Thank
any
you.
part of it, you can always
Okay.
go onto YouTube and check it out. TVC Entertainment on YouTube. You can see the whole process a little later on. Of course, we have Mary and Mike on the couch. Any words of wisdom, Mary?
we are looking forward to having a taste of that meal.
Now,
This one,
the frown.
This is mine.
listen. All of you, get your jotter out now.
Jota.
Yes, and your pen.
Okay.
The frown on the face of a goat will not stop it from being asun.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything.
Your pen,
Let's
you get...
wrap up on that
Nice one.
bombshell.
Nice one.
Let's wrap up the show, and it will be a wonderful Wednesday tomorrow morning.
Yes.
And we'll be back here at 7 a.m.,
Yeah.
people. Thank you, Chef Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.